welcome. Well, usually we actually introduce our guests one seated, but this one, let's keep it different today. And we're going to first before we introduce our guests for the day. And this tip, because we're talking about success story, and of course we bring more entrepreneurs, we bring people success stories who have gone through the ups and the downs, of course, to become who they are. So we're going to go for tips on business growth. How can you grow your business and be consistent about it? So let's quickly go for the tip. We'll be right back to the studio to continue the program.
Tips on business growth. There are plenty of things you can do to put your company on the path to growth. These are tips for your business for scaling up, no matter what kind of business it is. Number 1, hire the right people. Before you can even think about your company's growth trajectory, you need to have a solid staff to help you achieve your goals. Hiring the absolute best people you can is a surefire way to ensure fast growth. When you have hardworking employees who are dedicated to your company's success, your business will be better equipped for continued growth. In addition, delegating tasks to focus on important work will free up your time and energy, allowing you to perform at your best and cultivate a collaborative work culture. Number 2, focus on established revenue sources. Rather than trying to acquire new customers, direct your attention to the core customers you already have. You can do this by implementing a referral or customer loyalty program, or trying out marketing strategies based on previous purchasing behaviors to encourage repeat business. Focusing on your established market is especially important if you're trying to get funding. Number 3, reduce your risk. Risk is an inevitable part of starting and growing a business. It's impossible to control everything, but there are so many ways to limit internal and external threats to your company and its growth. One important resource to help you accomplish this is your business insurance provider. Small businesses need to manage their growth to avert disruptions can bring business to a grinding halt. The theft of employee data, customer records, and product designs can destroy a small business, generating significant cost and eroding customer confidence and loyalty. Not every business owner's policy covers data breaches or other cyber losses. Small businesses should be prepared by seeking insurance products that help them recover, including those that cover the cost of remediation and lawsuits. Number 4, be adaptable. One trait that many successful startups have in common is the ability to switch directions quickly in response to changes in the market. By allowing yourself to adapt and change quickly, you're able to test different approaches to business and find out what works best. It allows you to fail, pick yourself back up, and keep going. Number 5, focus on the customer experience. Customers' perceptions can make or break your business. Deliver quality experiences and products, and they will quickly sing your praises on social media. Mess it up, and they will tell the world even faster. Fast growth depends on making your current and potential customers happy. Compared with large companies, small businesses are nimble and often better able to see, anticipate, and respond to their customers' needs. The most successful small businesses exploit this advantage by bringing new and innovative products and services to market more quickly and developing and nurturing long-term customer relationships. Number 6, always think ahead. While agility is an important quality for a startup, you can fly by the seat of your pants when you're running a business. Planning your next step in anticipation of all possible scenarios is the best way to stay grounded and secure as your business evolves. Thinking ahead is broad advice, but it can be as simple as reviewing all ongoing contracts, like comparing rates and seeing if you can negotiate a better deal. Number 7, boost your customer service. Another great method to growing your business is to focus on providing superior customer service. When you exceed customers' expectations, they are likely to tell their friends, family, and followers about your business. When you go to the extra mile, such as by offering discounts if a customer has a poor experience, or following up to ensure your client or to ensure a client was satisfied with your product or service, you establish a reputation for great customer service. Number 8. Focus on social media. Another method to grow your business is to create profiles on all the major social media platforms, including Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. An active profile helps you market your business and interact with far more potential customers. When your business has regularly updated accounts on the major platforms, consumers can find your business more easily and are more likely to share your business with your friends. You will also create a more engaging experience for your audience, helping them feel more connected to your brand and cultivating trust.
Beautiful, welcome. Yes, you're still watching Women's Corner. And of course, we have a guest pretty seated. She's looking so pretty. I don't know what's going on. This Monday is looking all about pretty.
Thank you.
You look so good.
Thank you very much.
Of course, yes, we have an amazing guest. Lagos kind of happened to her, but we do appreciate that you could come to the studio still after all the struggles. Well, we have Adetoun in the house. So I'm just going to read a brief profile about her. Adetoun Patricia.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do that.
Setup.
No, it's not a setup.
Why do you do this every time?
Oh my God.
Like, we need to start looking for rose blossom everywhere. So that we'll bring those blossoms to the studio too. Okay, so we have Adetoun Patricia Solebo. She has a degree in business administration from University of Illinois. She's a customer-centric entrepreneur and enthusiast. She's also an advocate of. Did you say failing forward? Oh wow, that's new. Advocate of failing forward, and of course she provides event support services. Also, she's into drinks, beverage service provider and vendor, and she's been running her business since 2013, which is Sagriell Event Limited. Yes, and she's also gifting. I was expecting you to bring the handbag because when I saw that last part of gift, like I did not give her the.
In fact,
what's going on?
I didn't need to let you know. You should have just got the hamper so we look at it. I'm sorry about that. I apologize.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm sorry about that.
So it's good to have you in the studio.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm gonna go straight to the point.
Okay.
How did you start up this business? Because from our conversations before the camera came back, we were talking about you being started as a banker. First, why did you become a banker? Why did you switch to being an entrepreneur?
Life happened. Let me start that way. I started as a banker in my early 20s, or my mid 20s. That was directly after school, after NYSC. My stay in the banking industry was short-lived. After then, I tried other industries. I worked with
what industry is that?
Advertising at some point. I worked with an IT company at some point, and a law firm at some point. Yes, after all of this, I decided that I wanted to start my own thing.
Wow.
Yes, and I started Sagriell Events.
I was expecting you to mention oil companies because you
was everywhere. Expecting media too.
Yeah, media. She did advertising, so
yes, for a while. Yes, I did.
Okay. Oh.
And Sagriell Events, I would say that is divine. Started on a divine note because at some point in my journey through life, my dad had said, "Tom, I think that you'll be very good with decoration." My mom at another time had said, "Oh, you're very good with events and planning parties, family parties and all. Why don't you try something in that direction?" So at some point I realized that my dad had seen the organizational skills, my dad had seen the creative skills I had, and my mom had seen the organizational skills. So when I was going to make a choice about exploring business ideas. You know, events was one of the top on the priority list, and so at that point I did my economic reality check, and I realized that, I mean, at that time events was just the best choice for me. Yes.
Amazing. So, you know, first thing when you hear events, it's important to know that you can't just plan events without having the powerful connections, the people that are going to be part of your team, and for example, the decorations. Because sometimes being an event planner means you're also a decorator.
I'm not
Okay, not a planner.
Yes.
Okay, just
I provide support services, beverage and drinks specifically. Yeah, that's what I do.
Wow.
Yes.
So she doesn't do decoration.
I started out as a planner actually, but over time I decided to carve a niche for myself, and I chose the beverage and drinks sector.
How's the aspect of it coming?
Yeah.
Well, it's been interesting. It allows me to wear my thinking cap. Yes, it does allow me to get creative, and it's been okay generally. It's been okay because it's a key part of events. I mean, without drinks, I don't think an event can go on successfully. So after food is drinks, and I just look for something that will be family friendly and something that will be worth my time. Basically, that's it.
And to be honest, I don't think after food is drink. I think it's drink, food, and drink because some people get thirsty.
Of course, yeah.
So
keep drinking.
Yeah,
Yes.
just keep drinking.
Keep drinking,
the meal. Okay, let me first go into your banking. What made you decide to switch? What was that thing that made you uncomfortable that you had to be like, no, I think I need to do more? What was that? What changed?
Well, most 9-to-5 jobs can be quite monotonous. Yes, I had my ups and downs on 9-to-5 jobs, and I'm quite a restless person, and I think it was more of entrepreneurship calling me and saying to me, I think you can do much more than what you're currently doing, so why don't you just give business a shot and all of that. So no regrets. I'm every area where I have worked, I have learned something, I have taken away something, and because I have used it to build up on who I am today. So I don't have any regrets. It's been, I'll say it's been pleasant all through. Yes, there were ups and downs, but I overcame everything and crossed every hurdle. Yes, I did.
I have a question to ask close to what she just said. Tomo, you said it's been no regrets anyways.
Yes.
But are there times that you wanted to pack it up and say, oh God, you know, I give up on this entrepreneurship?
Oh yes, many times I felt like I should give up on my business. Many times, especially when my financial expectations are not met. Yes, and sometimes when it gets really overwhelming, you know, you have so much to do, and you do not have the right resources to put them in place and all that. Particularly the financial part, you know, you're sure when you're on 9-to-5, you're sure that you're going to get income every month, but sometimes you can't really predict what comes every month if you're an entrepreneur, so it's quite dicey. Yes.
So it's been 13 years of, you know, being an entrepreneur. So what was it like? You know, you said you started as an event planner first before you decided to carve a niche for yourself.
Yes, I did.
Now, what was it like for you having to start? Because trust me, I know it's not easy. It's not just going to be about the maybe daddy saw the creative side, mommy saw the organization side. There has to be something. Did you go for a schooling where did you study something that had to make you, you know, be professional in that area, or it was just your creativity that got you started?
Okay, having built a foundation in a professional environment, that helps me a lot, and having to work in structured organizations, that really helped, and I think that's why one of my key values or core values for my business is excellence. So that shaped my thinking, and I thought that, can you take that again, please? Take the question again, please, if you don't mind.
Like, did you go into studying about this? Like, was there a professional school you had to go, or was it just you going with your creativity?
It was me going with my creativity, especially, you know, because I think it was just in it, something that was discovered was said by a lot of people in my family, and I realized that during family functions, I'm usually at the forefront, you know, making sure everything is in place, and ensuring that we tick all the boxes. So it was, I would take it back to where my parents had said it at different occasions, because I mean, I think it stemmed from there. because somehow they planted a seed in my heart, and that seed germinated and blossomed to what it is today. So I would say that.
You just mentioned your name. So we have peace today. She just mentioned your name.
I was so excited. Yeah, you said blossom.
Okay.
Okay, please, sorry. Please go ahead. It blossomed into what you have today.
So I've been learning on the job. Of course, I've used my background experience in the corporate environment and in other sectors and everything. And I've nurtured everything with learning on the job, and everything keeps getting better. I keep learning every day. I keep learning, unlearning, and relearning. So, I mean, over the years, we've garnered enough experience, and that's why we're here today.
Okay,
after 13 years.
13 years. That's. In fact, if you have a child, that child should be in secondary school. You know that, so that's well grown. So, let's talk about your experience now. Of course, there's this, like you say, it's not going to be all bed of roses. There are some thorns too. So, we would like to know the best experience you had in these 13 years and the
most challenging,
painful experience, but somehow you put through. So let's start with. Do you want to start with the happy moments?
I think I'll start with the challenges I had first. Okay, when I started, I think the first challenge I had was acceptance, was making people believe in my dream and making people accept that this is what I wanted to do at this point. So it was difficult, penetrating and convincing people, especially on social media. We didn't have jobs. There was no platform on which you're advertising. So you want to push out a business and you just see that you try to put something, this is what I currently do. I'm into drink supply, icing, and you just see that you don't get any support even from people that you call your friends. And it can be very discouraging. But for me, I'm somebody who doesn't give up very easily. Even when I fall, I get up, right up. When I'm broken, I pick up the pieces of my life and I'm back up again. So that didn't deter me. I just kept at it. I'll get 1 like, 2 likes, 3 likes, but I persisted. I kept pushing out my dream. I kept pushing out my business. And I think at some point people realized that this girl means business. So one day my consistency paid off. Somebody called me, or my persistency or consistency paid off. And somebody called me and said, told, I'd like you to, it was my aunt. She said, I would like you to ice my drinks for my 50th birthday. And I said, oh, really, auntie? Okay. That's nice. So that was my first attempt. Yes. So when that happened, I took a lot of pictures, videos, and I pushed it out there on social media, and I showed my capability and how well I wanted to be seen. I wanted to push the standard I wanted to set for people to see, that I meant business. So I did that, and that was the beginning of everything. It was acceptance, basically. But I think the second part was funding. Challenging has been funding, but over the years, one job helps you keep plowing back your profits, and it keeps getting better and better and better. At least I can say, very confidently that I'm not where I used to be 13 years ago. We keep evolving, we keep growing, we keep adding value every day in different ways we can. So basically, that's it. So funding.
The beautiful experience?
The beautiful experience is the relationships I have built with customers. Yes, the healthy customer relationships I have built, and how this has significantly helped the growth and sustenance of my business. Some customers have become friends. Some of them have become like family. So that's the beautiful side of it, when you know that you have people at the center of your business and who play a vital role. And also your customers who give you like a means of livelihood. Then you know that they have your back, and you know that they have your interest at heart. So it's been about the relationships basically, healthy relationships. And with a healthy heart, you know what that means. That's generally something good for the body and for the entire system.
I'm going to ask one more question on the challenging moments. Okay, so you talked about the first job you did coming from your auntie. How challenging was it? I know you said was it very difficult because it was your first time doing it. And then did you make any profit, or you just wanted to make sure you did it and launch yourself into the market?
Well, I had done my feasibility studies. I had done my findings about how I was going to go about it. I had also done some research online about those who were already in the business. So When I had got all that information and how to source for my materials and everything I needed to get the job done, it made it relatively easy. So it was information that I needed. I needed information, and I needed sources where I could, procure items and all of that. And that I did, and I did it quite well because I'm quite a meticulous person. I try to go all out to do anything I set out to do. So it went well, relatively well. It did, and there were no complaints. And I gave it my very best because I knew that this mattered a lot to me, and that this would determine the next phase of my business.
Sure.
Yes, I did make profits, but it was minimal. It was more about being seen. Yes, it was more about creating visibility for myself. So basically, that's it.
That's beautiful. Well, I still have more questions for you because I'm like, the way you're sounding is making it look like I can do this business. But I know it's not easy. So let's quickly just go for a break, and after this break, we'll take a tip, and the tip is on stress management. I know it's one thing that every entrepreneur goes through. Like you said, at point you were overwhelmed. Sometimes with the stress, you just feel like backing out. There's ways you can actually handle your stress properly, manage them properly, so you do not break down or you work out of your business. So let's quickly go for this tip. All stress management. We'll be right back to the studio's continue problem with Patricia and Patricia. We'll be right back.
Can I talk?
Tips on stress management. Maintain physical exercise and good nutrition. Physical exercise and nutrition are two important components in how you respond to stress. When your body is healthy, your mind can be healthy and vice versa. Physical exercise is proven to be a great stress reliever and also help to improve your overall quality of life. Nutrition is important because stress can deplete certain vitamins such as A, B complex, C and E. Maintaining proper nutrition not only helps your body feel better, but your mind as well, which allows you to better combat stress. Practice deep breathing. Deep breathing is a great way to reduce the activation of your sympathetic nervous system, which controls the body's response to fight or flight to a perceived threat. Deep breath taken in for a count of 5 seconds, out for 2 seconds and released for a count of 5 seconds can help activate your parasympathetic nervous system to rest and digest, which helps reduce the overall stress and anxiety you may be experiencing. Manage social media time. Spending time on social media sites can become stressful, not only by what you might see on them, but also because the time might best be spent enjoying visiting friends, being outside, enjoying the weather, or reading a good book. In addition, many people use social media at night, which may worsen sleep due to increased stress on the exact time people are trying to wind down for the evening, resulting in fewer overall hours of quality sleep. Connect with others. Humans are social beings. You need to have connections with people to feel supported. Finding a sense of community, whether at work with a religious organization or through shared activities such as organized sport, is important for your well-being. Enjoying a shared activity allows you to find support and foster relationships that can be supportive in difficult times. Avoid unhealthy habits. Some people may deal with stress with unhealthy habits. These may include drinking too much caffeine or alcohol, smoking, eating too much, or using illegal substances. These habits can harm your health and increase your stress level. Laugh more. A good sense of humor can't cure all ailments, but it can help you feel better. Even if you have to force a fake laugh through your grumpiness, when you laugh, it lightens your mental load. It also causes positive physical changes in the body. Laughter fires up and then cools down your stress response. So read some jokes, tell some jokes, watch a comedy, or hang out with your funny friends.
Welcome back. Yes, you're still watching Women's Corner with Iris, Blossom and Patricia, and our guest for today is Patricia. What am I smiling? I think it's my name. I don't know. But anyway, Patricia, what's your next question?
Oh yeah, I'm not going to call her Patricia because you're so jealous about it.
Thank you very much.
You know, behind the camera, we're talking about your experiences.
Yeah.
And you had one just on Friday. So please, can you share with the viewers what your experience is like?
Okay, it was quite an unpleasant one on Friday, and I think that's why my voice is not as good as it should be. Okay, that went well. I went out of my way to do the job as usual because if there's something I want to be known for, I want to be known for somebody who does her job excellently well. You know, like I said before, one of my core values is excellence. You know, try and go the extra mile to ensure that you meet or surpass expectations and all of that. Everything went well. Everything was seamless all through the event. Then at the end of the event, we have like a procedure where we hand over to the client whatever is left, you know. So while we were trying to put things together, you know, we had sorted some certain brands. We had the clients used majorly bottled drinks, so we had sorted out the canned drinks, had sorted out the wines and the juices. We put them in baskets to hand over. So the client came to me and said, "Is this all you're giving me? Is this all you're giving me? We know we didn't have 800 guests." Yes, they didn't have 800 guests that we planned for. They had about less than 500. So we had planned to hand over all of those drinks. And what was I going to do with bottled drinks anyway? So he came to us and came charging that, "Where are my drinks?" and all that. Then he wanted to insist that I had to take the bottled drinks home. I said, "I'm not sure if I can take them home or if I can take them away with me." He said, you're going to sell them off to your supplier, you're going to make money and all of that. I said, "I'm not sure that I don't have a policy to take back drinks. Usually I hand over, you know, whatever is left from what we've used." So I called my supplier and asked, "Okay, do you have a policy to receive what you have sold?" And he said, "Oh yes, please, it's fine, because I know that my pet and my can supplier doesn't accept return products and all that." So he said yes. I said, "Oh, good news, now I can return the bottled drinks, but the juices that we had opened up will be handed over." So then we got to the water, and he said I had to take water. So I said, "This is getting too much for me. I still have a balance with you, a good chunk of money with you." I didn't say that to him, but that was what went through my head. I mean, I have a good chunk of money with you, and by the time I remove all of this, I mean, it's going to mess up my entire balance, and this wouldn't be good for me or for my business. So I said, "I'm sorry, I won't be able to take the water and everything." And he went explosive. Yes, and I had to stand up for myself. Then at some point he called us thieves, and I think that was what broke my heart the most. At some point I even broke down, I cried, because I knew that I had spent a lot of time, energy, resources, putting in my best on the job, and it was such a successful job. It was just after the event, things just turned sour. So he called us thieves, and I said, "Why would you call us thieves? Because these are your drinks right before you." My manager had taken stock of the drinks. The event planner, who is like a representative, was also present when we were taking stock. Your drinks are right before you, so why call us thieves? If I really wanted to steal anything, I would have done it well when everybody was busy in the course of the event. And it would be juices and wines. That's where the money is. So I found myself, you know, fighting back, and you know, another family member started hurling insults at me. I couldn't take it. Of course, I returned the energy, because at some point I needed to stand up for myself. I'm a service provider. I'm not your subordinate. I mean, and it's a symbiotic relationship. It's not a parasitic one. I reminded them that I'm here for a service. You're not doing me a favor. And it went really, really, really. It didn't end on a very good note, and I was very unhappy at the end of the day. At the end of the day, they told us, "Okay, fine, we're taking back our bottles, and we're taking back all our leftover drinks. Don't take them again." We had loaded them in the bus. They told us to bring it back down again. That was a lot of stress for me. He was even almost molesting and humiliating me. Yes, but I managed it as well as I could. But of course, I got back home late. I was drained. I was exhausted. And of course, knowing who I am, if I had decided to dwell on that experience, I won't be here today. You know, I won't be available here. But right after every ugly experience, I try and learn from the experience. I pick up myself and just move on to the next. That's what I do. So there were lessons I took away from that experience. And I think one of the major experiences I took away was is the fact that I need to make my terms and conditions clearly stated. Before the business, you know, most of my customers, or many of them, my customers do not use bottles. So this was one out of so many that, and we haven't had this experience in a very long time. So I guess I need to tidy up that. And what if we have situations like this? I have to decide whether or not I want to go through this type of experience again.
Sorry to interject. You're saying this, and something came to mind. This person is the opposite gender, right?
Yes, he is.
Do you think him being like this with you has something to do with your gender? Maybe what we have, all this lady being lady man relationship thing, trying to be nasty or something, and you not responding. Do you think that could have triggered his
I responded. I mean, whatever he was bringing to me, I gave it back to him with the same energy. I did respond.
You were not using the right word I want to use.
Okay,
was it flittering with you? Say it.
Was it
no, he wasn't. But he was making it seem as if, in the course of trying to get the business. Oh, in fact, we had gotten a part of the business. I wanted to pursue other services. So, and I said to him that, how about trying our bar service, how about trying this? It would complement what you already have. And he came out to say that, you were not like this some days ago, you were asking me for business and all of that. And I said, yes, I did ask you for business. That should be the spirit of an entrepreneur. I didn't come begging you for money or putting my hands in your pocket. I was asking for more business, and there's nothing wrong with that and everything. And you were conversing. You were conversing with me. You were not holding back, and I wasn't imposing anything on you. You had a choice to say, I am not interested, or I have a certain budget and I'm not exceeding this budget. So all through he sat on the fence up till 2 days to the event, and I said, I'm done with this. So when he mentioned that, I had to speak for myself. I said, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm an entrepreneur. I mean, if I have to, I'm looking for how to convert 50,000 to to 500,000 if possible. So why would you want me to sit back and say I shouldn't be proactive because I don't know, for whatever is going through your mind? So I did what I needed to do. So I had to quickly nullify that. So and I said, I'm going to send the screenshots of our conversation to your wife. There's nothing to hide. Yes, I said that to him. And after the event, yes, I thanked the wife because I met the family through the wife. Yes. So I appreciated her for recommending me to the family. I sent her a lengthy message, and I told her that I regret that things turned out the way they did after the success of the entire event. And I also spoke about her husband, and I said your husband made it seem as if I was latching on like a parasite, that I wasn't latching on to him. I mean, I just proposed these services which any business person can do, and he was conversing with me, asking me for costing, asking me questions, and saying that, okay, what's the personnel that would be involved with this businesses that you have proposed and all of that. And I was responding. So there was back and forth communication, and I sent the screenshot to her. This is your husband saying this, this is your husband saying that. So why would he make it seem as if I was too pushy, or I was trying to impose myself?
Let me just move
So
what was the wife's response?
She was she was confused. She was neither here nor there. She was trying to make peace as much as she could. She would say it's okay on mine, she would say it's okay on his side. So she was caught in between. That's what I would say.
Quick one because of the time. So how did you get this sorted out for him to pay you your money?
Well, I haven't got it sorted yet, because this is Monday. This is how many days after? Like 2 days after. We don't know what's going to come out of this, but I'm not going to allow anybody go away with my money. And because I worked for it and I worked well. If they had told me that they had substandard products, or I delivered below the expectation, or maybe I brought I didn't bring the right quantities or the right brands, then I know that yes, they're justified. But in this case, you wanted to impose your own, what you felt was normal practice wasn't normal practice to me. And some other family member had said, drink vendors typically would take back the drinks. Yes, for me in some cases I would take back, but in their own circumstance I had made up my mind that I don't think I want to go through this take back, and they wanted to impose that on me. I said it shouldn't be through force. We should have like a dialogue. Yes, we should have like a dialogue, or we should have like an understanding, where you would say, okay, please help us. Okay, even if it's going to take you like some weeks, okay, we'll wait, and but your balance will just say something to make me feel that I'm secure on my side and all of that. So I wanted to respond to what I don't think it had anything to do with my gender. No, he was just being a bully. That's what I see it as. Yes, just being a bully, somebody who wanted to just and I didn't want that to happen, and I made it very clear that you can't bully me.
That's
yes,
nice.
yes.
How would they bully you with this time? Don't do that.
Whether she's not standing, it's not nice to bully someone.
But they can't bully you. And for you to be here to actually share your experience, I'm sure probably he's watching and he knows that, oh no, you don't mess with this girl. Don't mess with her. Anyway, it's been an amazing one with you. And
Thank you very much.
On and on. I want to ask, how did you get the links with the drinks and all of that? But I can't ask that because our time is already fast spent. We've actually overdone it. But thank you so much for being in the studio. It's been an amazing one.
Thank you
and
too.
Thank you for this last story. I loved it. I loved this experience. It's beautiful. Even though it was trying for you,
Yes, it
but
was.
of course you're here,
Yes,
smiling, so makes you strong. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much. Yes, I did. I sure did. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.